Okay, it looks like everything's up and running. So, welcome back. We are on day 47, and today I think you guys saw it because I didn't have the starting screen set up before I started recording, but I got one of the new books, and I was going to show you guys at the end of the stream, so that's what we're going to do. And today is also going to be a shorter stream, um, just because it's the weekend, I'm tired, and today ended up being busy with nothing getting done, so um, I want to be able to go to sleep and do more stuff and get everything that needs to get done tomorrow because there's a lot that piled up today. Um, so we are going to be, we're still doing proportion drawing, or like strictly focusing on drawing using proportion. That's the technique that we're focusing on. I currently don't have an idea of what. I haven't picked an object yet to draw, so it's going to be something in this room, most likely. I just gotta figure out what that is. But yeah, so some of the books came in. Well, I have a new cookbook that came in, so I was really excited about that because in this cookbook there is a recipe for popcorn s'mores. I'm so excited to try out that recipe. um, but then the other um, book that came in is an anatomy book, and this is one that's pretty. From the reviews and everything, it says that it's pretty. What would the term be? I'm gonna use inclusive, but it's not inclusive. It's like pretty much has everything that you could want or need for specifically drawing anatomy in that book. Comprehensive, that's the word, comprehensive. Um, so we'll take a look at that at the end of this stream, just because it looks like I'm not going to be able to do straight lines today. That's okay. And then tomorrow, Leonardo da Vinci's notebook and sketches and stuff, that a book that contains his sketches and everything should be coming in, so we can also look at those tomorrow if it comes in time. I'm thinking it will. We tend not to get deliveries late at night. But like on Amazon, it's just like, yeah, it should arrive before 10 p.m. And I'm just like, I don't know. I guess in some places maybe they are out that late, but I don't think over here they are. Oh, what happened? Oh, I hate the winter. My hands crack so bad. I mean, winter is my favorite season. I'm not gonna lie, I do love winter. I do love the snow and everything like that, but as I got older, my hands have always cracked and stuff. I guess as I've got older, I've just noticed it because before it never bothered me, but now it does, and I don't know what changed. Probably because like I actually started using hand moisturizer. I never knew this before, but there's actually different types of lotions for different types of skin. So my hands would swell so bad in the winter when like my mom kind of forced me to put lotion on my hands because I mean they get so dry and cracked, like you need to, but they would swell and they would just hurt so bad. And come to find out, it's because of the perfume, and you can get really gentle lotion, and there's lotion like for like people that have eczema, and it's to like stop outbreaks, so it's like a really clean, I guess is the term, a really clean formula for the lotion and stuff, and it really works really well. But it's expensive. I think Eucerin is one of them, I think, but the one that everyone's been talking about and the one that I've been using is CeraVe. And for the first time, my hands don't swell up, don't get red, and they aren't like throbbing in pain when they get this bad. And this is just like from one day of not putting lotion on, like constantly all the time. And yeah, I do a lot of cleaning, but it's so ridiculous. And I'm beginning to understand the uses of gloves, cleaning gloves, like the rubber glove stuff. And I'm trying to remember to use, or to at least get some to use for like washing dishes and stuff like that, because then you're not, because I used to use them for like, like when you're scrubbing a toilet or something like that to keep your hands from getting really, really gross. But come to find out, you can also use it for when you're washing dishes so you don't have cracked, dry skin that feels really, really rough and bad and hurts. So yeah, I'm learning a little, probably late in life, but it's still there. Where am I on the circles? No diagonals. So let's see, what could today's drawing be? Because it turns out what I chose yesterday, what was it? The bottle, I think, or container. It was some kind of like container. That one did not take as long. It wasn't as complicated as I thought it would. Well, I went for something, but I thought it would take a little bit longer than it did. I think it just took, 5 minutes to draw most. So, I wonder, yeah, okay, there we go. It's like, I always go to the other side of the paper, and I was like, is that just because that's just how my brain works, or it's just the easier way of doing it, and it's the easier way of doing it, and probably how my brain works. So today I want to do something a little more complicated to try to do that, but I don't know, because I don't have that much space yet, because I still haven't, nope. Oh yeah, I was doing that, so I'm confused. No, these should, oh, these are just, it's just at a more acute angle. I don't think acute is the term. What's the one where it's like over 90 degrees? It's like, it starts with an O. Oak plague or something. No. Yeah, so it's just at a different angle. An acute and a, that's gonna bug me. I can't remember that term either right now. Oh, who knew? I would be trying to remember more of math terms with drawing than actually doing math. But math is like, when I was doing it, it was very much, this is the subject you're on. Don't go into the other subjects. Where here it's like, oh, look at all these different math concepts that exist when drawing. So I think today's going to be the last day that I am going to do the focus on proportion drawing and move on to the next thing, because what I really am excited to try and start doing is following the lessons of the classical drawing book that I have. But I'm not going to get all of those books in until like Monday or Tuesday. Hold on one second, I'll be right back. I just need to answer something real quick. Okay. Yep. So let's see. Let's go into the circles now. But yeah, the reason why this is harder to try and get an object that I'm just using in this room is because this room has a lot of big, heavy objects, and the way this room is set up, they're all behind me. So if I wanted to draw them, I would have to not be facing the computer, and that would be even worse, I think, if there wasn't even something for you guys to watch, even, because it's like, oh hey, yeah, I've gotta draw this in the opposite direction and I can't move the camera, which I'm gonna have to get a tripod for the camera, because the way I'm gonna end up doing the tracing, I am gonna have to stand, so I'm gonna need a tripod and to move the angle, and so it's gonna be a new setup. I said there were gonna be some subtle changes coming shortly, and that is going to be one of them. And all these changes are out of necessity, and it should just make these a little bit more bearable to watch and a little more fun going forward. So, and I am still working on the music thing. That is going to take a little bit longer than I thought, but like I said, there's 2 things that I have in the works, and depending on what happens depends on how everything works out. So it's gonna be silent for a few, well, silence. There's gonna be no music, so for a little bit longer still. And I can't really say silent because I just talk through the lack of music. I could attempt to bring this back and do one of the shapes that this folds into. There's a way to get the star, and I just haven't been able to do it. And that would be cool. That would be a fun one to draw if I could get the star. It just doesn't want to work that way for me. So we could do that. Just bring this into a shape, see what shape will pop up today. Because it is not working very well right now. Well, at least I can get it back into the square. Oh, that was close. There we go. So I could do this one. This one's kind of cool because it's got the no, go back. Yeah. Okay. Oof. There we go. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's hexagon in the center, and then it's the 2 large triangles creating the star. So I think that's the one we're gonna do. That one's gonna be fun. Okay, so I don't even know how that's gonna work in proportion, but it's easier to see the proportions because they're all the same miniature triangles, so that'll be cool. Whether or not I'm able to follow those proportions is another question, but I could also just, instead of using the shape as a triangle, I could do the lengths of each line, because that's about like a cap. This would be a cap and a half. So I could work with those measurements to try and keep the proportions. So that might be, I think that'll be the shape that we do today. It's going to be a little more complex when doing the measurements and stuff, and to get the measured dots going. But I think overall I'll be able, it's easy to measure, so I think it'll come out alright. I say as my circles were terrible. That's fine. I guess, and yeah, I haven't been able to do straight lines all night either. So today was a Christmas bazaar. Is that what it's called here? It might be called an Advent market. Sometimes that's what they're called too. But it's basically my parish. It's where a parish will just have a lot of vendors show up, and there's like a lot of arts and crafts, and like the small stuff that essentially, if they were sold in a real shop, it would be like an Etsy shop or something like that, right? It's just small crafty type things, and they're always so adorable, so I love going and seeing them. But there was also a type of petting zoo, I guess, because it was mostly like, oh hey, we have animals that like we use to educate people that we're gonna show up and show to people, and if you want, you can interact with them and pet them and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. That was fun. I learned about dwarf cows. I did not know those were a thing, but they're really tiny cows. Well, I mean, they're not mini cows, but compared to how big cows get, it's a pretty small cow. And I'm like, if you can use those cows for dairy, it would be really easy for families to have a dairy cow. But that's what I was thinking, anyways. That's where my mind went with the cow. But it was a really calm cow, too. Like, none of the kids bothered it at all. It was kind of just there. It's like, yep, I'm here. Then there was a goat, and the goat was so chill. It was just like, I just want to eat all the leaves. Like, I'll be your rake. Just let me eat leaves. And there was a turkey. I don't know what the turkey was doing there. I'm not sure. Like, I think last year there was like a camel. Are camels? Maybe not a camel. It might have been a llama? Alpaca? Now I'm gonna have to look back at the pictures from last year to see what one it is. It was like one of those. I know they're not even like, they're not all related, but I just can't remember what one it was. It was like just one of them. But yeah, so there's fun things there. And it was pretty cool. And I say it's like really like just cute, nice artsy stuff. There was this one thing where, and I don't even know how this person came up with this idea, so kudos on them for coming up with it. But they use like rocks that they just find laying around, and they build really fun sayings. So it's like it's all like rock puns, right? And it'll be like, our family rocks, or because the pictures are made out of rocks, or they make a picture out of the rocks that they find, and then they come up with cute puns to go along with the pictures. And our family rocks is the one that's sticking in my head. There was a lot of cute ones. It was like that were there too. I wish I could remember them, or at least that I had taken a picture, because I thought that was like really cool idea. And then other people who were using shells to make different seams. It's just like really creative place to go to and just like walk around and see, hey, like the parish has um had a lot of renovations, so a lot of the old materials that aren't being used anymore, instead of throwing them away, the some of the crafters repurposed them and created other stuff like crosses and the one I was looking at the most was the crosses because I was able to actually see the seams, and then they had like this whole diagram out to show how they created the crosses, based like what materials they used and what cuts were used to make the crosses out of the materials that they repurposed for the crosses. I hope that made sense. I'm sorry. I wasn't really sure how to explain it, but that's where I was like looking at all of that because that's the type of nerd I am. Is like, oh, you're explaining your process and what you did. Let me just look at this and read about it. Um, so I thought that was pretty like cool. And the one that I was looking at and reading about was set up like a school project. Um, and the kid he was in high school still, so it was pretty cool. I was like, yep, that's pretty neat, and it's pretty cool that you were able to do that and set all that up and work on it. So it's like, yeah, get out, do things. Absolutely. So I supported him because why not? Like, you're seeing it, you're being creative and you're repurposing things that most people wouldn't think twice about, just like throwing it away or dumping it or something like that. You're finding a new purpose for it. So, and you're young in doing this. I have no idea what I was doing over here. Let's go to squares. I did enough rectangles. What was another thing? There was the rocks. There was the other crafters. There were the animals. There was food. Oh, and that's something I need to remember. I need to remember this because it is something that um I want to make, but it was pizza fries. It's just like it's something where you could just get, like the Idaho fries and put them in the oven or your air fryer or fry them or however you make them. And they just put pizza sauce, mozzarella, and like some pizza seasonings on top, and you got pizza fries. So yes, I want to make those because that was a cool idea. And it's like a fun thing you just do on like a Friday. I don't know why, but like on Fridays it's just like I just want to do like fun food that doesn't actually make a real meal. Like mozzarella sticks or pizza bagels or um the pizza fries, or there's, oh man, and one place I lived there was a place that would make feta cheese fries, and it was a um restaurant recipe tzatziki sauce, right? So it's not your, like, you can go out and just buy it generic in the supermarket. So it was, I don't know if they just made it on site or if it was something that they ordered or whatever. Probably, I think it was a mom and pop restaurant, so they probably just or made it in house, and then so it was like fries, the tzatziki sauce, feta cheese, and then it had some kind of green. Was it green? seasoning on it. It had like a couple of other things in it. It's been so long since I've had them, but again, those like, oh, it's a Friday night, let's just go get cheddar cheese fries. They're feta cheese fries because that's just what needs to happen on a Friday. No real food. And that's also like where you have like your grilled cheese and tomato soup combination. I have no idea why it's such a good combination, but it is. Especially if you get like a Gouda or an Asiago or one of those types of cheeses. I don't know if they like just have like a polar, like what kind of flavor palette that is. But that's a really good combination for a snack meal. And then the cookbook I got does have like snack meals. So one of it was it's a ham slider with cheddar cheese and avocado, I think. And yeah, that's the cookbook that also has the s'more popcorn. So I'm really looking forward to some of those recipes. Any other fun things going on today? And then there's this stream, and that's going to be a fun object. I did work on my sketchbook, which was nice because I kind of stopped writing in it this week. This week was just a tough week, so it was nice to be forced not to get anything done essentially today. Because, like I said, a lot of things have piled up, and I would have been doing that today if I hadn't gone to the market instead. So if the market wasn't going on, I would not have had as fun of a day. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I think that's pretty much it. There's nothing really else going on. But I will, and I am really looking forward to showing you guys the anatomy book because it is insane. And I bought it with Black Friday deals, so it was a lot cheaper than it would have been. It was $30 cheaper than it would be. So, very happy I found these books during the Black Friday deals. Because I think my husband would have been really mad if I had bought them at full price. Okay, let's get into the drawing because I did say that I wanted to cut the stream early a little bit due to all the stuff that I didn't do today, having to do it tomorrow. And I also started the stream a little later than I should have if I wanted to. I just want to make sure that... Okay, yeah, I'm doing... It's doing what it's supposed to. Okay. Let's get started. So, I said this is about a cap, and this one I said was a cap and a half. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. This might be trickier to do in proportion than I first thought. Because yeah, this is a cat. Okay, I think what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to do the dots at various different yeah, I'm not going to be able to do all the dots at once. I'm going to have to split this up into two separate sections, maybe even three. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the middle because I can go off of the angle because it's the same angle. It's like what, 100-degree angle almost. Yay, I get to brush up on my angles. That'll be fun. I used to be able to, like, I think this is about 100 because this is 90. So if I was looking at 90 would be here. I just want to make this there. So 90 would be here. Yes, it's about like a 100-degree angle. Okay. And it's the cap, so I can actually take it off my pen and just use that as a measurement. Okay, so if I wanted to draw this, I'm gonna prop it up so I can actually see what I'm doing. So I would, this is where the angle is going to, the first angle is going to start. So this would be, like if this was, yeah, I've got, and there's 6 sides, but I'm gonna try to make it, and then this one also is going to be 100-degree angle off of that one. One, two, three. It's gonna end up being 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. Should almost be like this. Never mind. That's the better. That's the angle. Yeah. Looking at it differently than I should have been. There you go. One, two, three, 4. That should be. How is that not? Hold on. Yeah, that one's right. I don't know what happened with that. Oh, it's because of what I was trying to do with the angle, maybe. But this isn't the right angle. Let's just draw it and see how it looks. That's That's why I have multiple paper today. Because I wanted to do something that was a little more complicated. That's where it messed up. No, that's right. Yeah. Why is this turning like that? But it should all be the same length. But it's all going to be a different length because this would also have to be right here. And that would be too close. But see, then these are not proportionally right. So is this angle not right somehow? Am I looking at the angles wrong? Might be looking at them wrong. Yeah, I'm looking at them a little bit different than what they should be. Let me change this real quick. Okay, I see what I did wrong. Okay. So these don't actually meet. There's 3 that don't meet. So it goes like here, here, there's like a gap right here. And then it goes like that. Okay. And then this one's connected. This one's connected. But then there's the gap, which is right here. Right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then that's where you get. Alright, let's see. I messed up this angle right here. That's where it happened. Okay. That's why that one was so off. And then you would need the gap over here. And then that would be the right. So yeah, you need those gaps in between. Okay, I didn't really think about those earlier. Okay. Then from there we have a line here. So this and this one. And then don't have it here. You have this one. And then this one. Okay, so line here, a line here, line here, and it's just making the triangle. Yeah, this is gonna be pretty bad, but it's actually pretty cool how it's popping out the way it's supposed to. And then the next one is this one, and I'm gonna run out of space on this one, so we're just gonna do as much as we can. Yeah, it's the line. So this one, and I wonder if it's gonna, so this one's supposed to go down, so I wonder if it's gonna, whoops, my bad. I don't know what I was doing. I don't know if it's gonna look like it pops downward just because we have the gap, and then yeah, that just goes. Okay, and then this goes under, so you only see, and that's why this is so cool, is so in the picture, the only thing I'm gonna see, yeah, it's only gonna be a cap of each side. So it's gonna be here, 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 and then you can tell where I messed up. It's gonna be here. And then that's gonna be, so then that's pretty cool. Oops. And this just goes off, and it's gonna end up looking like that. Oh, crap. That's okay. This one ended up not looking quite the way it needs to, and it's because that shape's pretty hard. It's a pretty hard shape to do. I wonder if I had started with these points, but no, I have to do this because if this is messed up, the rest of it's messed up. So I really just gotta focus on getting these angles right. And I might have to look and see if they talk about that. So if that's a different lesson, I'm gonna hold off on that because angles are different than just getting proportions right. So if I'm trying to go ahead, then that makes sense as to why this got messed up so poorly or so much. So yeah, it ended up being such a poor drawing. So I think that will end today. I did want to just take a look at the anatomy book real quick before we end. So this is the anatomy book. Alright. And since this is how it's going to be seen, I'll keep it like this. But see, it gets into it goes in really in depth. And then it kind of over here, it even shows you like how to like really draw it and everything. And then it talks a little about what's going on. I don't know what that's supposed to attach to, but it's fine. Yeah, it's really pretty cool. It goes into depth with like the different bones, structures, the different lines and the muscular system and stuff like that. Like even with the feet focus. So here's like the drawing, and then I think this is also drawing, but it's kind of like teaching you the step-by-step process to get here. So really excited, really looking forward to getting into like this book and just seeing the information and stuff and working with it. So yeah, I guess you can call it, I wouldn't say like it's like nerdy, it's stuff that I need, but I mean maybe it's nerdy that I'm excited for it. I don't know. But that is where we are. Like I said, I'll look at the other videos, see if I'm trying to do something beforehand. Tomorrow will be the last proportion drawing before we move on to lesson number 9. Again, if anyone noticed anything about the way I was drawing or the techniques that I was talking about and I'm messing something up or not doing something right, please let me know in the comments below, because your critiques are the only thing that I have, since I do not work with a teacher or a master artist or anything like that, and I don't have a mentor either. So thank you all so much for joining me today, and I hope you all have a good rest of your day. I will be back here tomorrow. Bye.